Hey there, boys and girls. This is Nick here again. I think this is now episode 3 of my journey to remix Skyrim. I've just actually gone and installed the new version of FL Studio here. This is FL Studio 20. This is to celebrate 20 years of fruity goodness. And I have registered it. It is bought. I've just noticed now that the fruit is actually hovering. It's actually moving. That's sexy. And they've changed a few things. They've finally put in a proper pattern and song indicator here on the top left corner, which is, it's always been an arrow, and I've never really known what the hell that arrow means when it's lit up or when it's not lit up. So that's nice. I've gone and installed my plugins here. I've got my Valhalla Vintage Verb. I've got Saturn, which is a very nice tape emulator. I've got Presswork, which does some brilliant vintage level compression. Hey there to Daxtron. Hey there to Frog Voice. I've obviously also had to go and reactivate my other plugins like FabFilter Pro Q2. Very, very nice EQ plugin. They've also got a really good multi-band compressor. I haven't actually registered that one yet, and I don't think I've registered. Oh no, see, the compressor is activated. Great. So the FabFilter stuff, if you want compression, multi-band compression, and of course EQing, that's the way to go. And Elephant from Voxengo is very, very nice as well. Excellent limiter. You can actually just use the limiter here in FL, which is very, very nice. You see, if I just get some kicks here, let me just mute this. This is a nice limiter because you can see visually what the limiter is doing on each transient, and you can adjust the attack speed, obviously the release speed, the sustain, which is not something you find in all limiters. One Simple Gamer, how's it going? So, FL Studio 12, I have to go clean up my plugins list again because this is a mess. 3/4 of the stuff here I don't use. So the way you do that is you go over here to plugin database in your browser, you go to effects, and you just go through and you say, control surface, delete that, never use it. Formula controller, delete that, never use it. Let's go into delay reverb, convolver, never use it. So we should notice that as we delete these files, fruity convolver should be gone when I delete that. Sure enough, it's gone. So most of these things I don't use. If you go through, let's say, miscellaneous, Fruity LSD, never using that. Fruity Scratcher, haven't used that for a long, long time. Joro Mix, how's it going, buddy? I'm about to get back into my Skyrim thing here soon. I have to get onto this particular quest. The Affairs of Hagravens, because there's a section in my Skyrim Symphony track where there's a lot of Draugr voices and Hagraven voices, and I want a shot of the Hagraven talking and walking at the same time. And if memory serves me well, that occurs in the quest called The Affairs of Hagravens. So I'm going to have to transport over to this place. This is Blind Cliff Cave. The ID is Blind Cliff Cave 01. So I'm going to have to use the COC command in the console and then the ID of that location to go and start that quest, because she basically gets you to follow her through all sorts of underground caves and things like that, which is exactly what I want. Unfortunately, I haven't yet adjusted my ENB graphics mod settings for interior spaces yet, so no doubt there's going to be a fair bit of buggering around to do there. Wrong Ocelot, how's it going, buddy? How's it going to Majorian Polywaffle? That's the best name I've ever seen. Amazing. I've also recently bought myself one of these. This is a Logitech G400. I found my G400S the other day, but according to this click latency test, the G400, let me just zoom in for you guys so you can read this a bit better on that tiny little stream. The G400 apparently has a lower reported click latency of about 0.7 milliseconds. The G400S has about 1.2. So all the mice with the lowest input lag on the top here is obviously corded. Whatever you read about wireless mice having no input lag is bullshit. If you scroll down here, this list was last updated 14th of March 2018. You get down to the Logitech's MX series here, the MX300, and there you go, you've got 7 milliseconds. The MX518, 7.7. So as you get into the wireless mice, you sure enough, you've got 10 milliseconds, 12, 13, 15, 16 milliseconds. It's a disaster. And you can feel a very big difference between these things. So the G400, we go to the top here, 0.7 milliseconds. And I can tell you, as someone who's been creating professionally and playing on PCs since I was about 13 years old, 8 years old even, I'm very, very sensitive to the lag of a mouse. Every wireless mouse I've ever used is laggy. You move your cursor and you miss your target. You overshoot your target. You undershoot your target because your brain is trying to compensate for that latency. The fact that there is a substantial fraction of a second between moving your mouse and seeing the cursor. So this guy has almost none of that. This is 0.7 and it is extremely comfortable. The lag is almost zero. It just feels amazing, this mouse. If you're after a mouse for gaming, let me show you this. This is my little Logitech settings here. So I've adjusted this to 700 sensitivity, DPI, 700 DPI. You can obviously have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different levels, which you can cycle through using those buttons above and below the scroll wheel. And you can adjust your polling rate. People say that polling rates make no difference. It's not true. If you draw a circle in Paint or Photoshop on a low polling rate, it will be polygonal. If you draw a circle with a high polling rate, it'll be much, much smoother. So that's definitely making a difference. So just to hit the nail finally on the head, Logitech G400, amazing mouse. Sean Vertigo and Etta Karinai. Yeah, the Zowie stuff sucks. You go through there. Yeah, boy, I won't be getting any of those. I'm not sure how they arrive at these negative values. That's very interesting. The SteelSeries Akari, it's very hard to find those nowadays, but if you want a low input lag, then that's the way you go, apparently. Anyway, I'm here cleaning up my plugin list in FL Studio because I've just installed the new version, the 20th anniversary version. Big thanks to my friend Glenn for shouting that out at me, actually. I don't keep up with the news. I rely on everyone who sends me texts like, oh, there's a new Fallout coming out, Fallout 76. Oh, I didn't know that. Big thanks to Valve as well. Valve for letting me know about that. Effector, let's get rid of that. Vocoder, no. Grossbeat, maybe one day. Newtone, I already have Melodyne. Pitcher, never used that. Vocodex, never used that. You know, if I'm going to get any of these, they're going to be dedicated plugins. Key Mapper, Keyboard Shifter. You see, the problem is when you open up your plugin list here, you've got all these things that you just never use. So you go here into the browser, you go into Plugin Database, and you just right-click and you delete the shit that you don't need. You know, it's all just stupid. It's all just dumb. Fruity Balance, Panomatic, that's old. And it's very old. Stereo Enhancer and Stereo Shaper I actually do kind of use sometimes. Blood Overdrive, yeah. Soft Clipper, never use that. Squeeze I actually use sometimes. Wave Shaper, no. Hardcore is a demo version, so we'll get rid of that. And slowly but surely you can see your plugin database here starting to shorten, which is what I want. So let's close this. You'll notice they've actually moved the minimize, maximize, and close buttons to the top right here. That's going to take some getting used to. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, what I want to do in this stream is I want to capture shots of the hag raven talking, preferably while walking, so I can get some camera motion. And I also want to get shots of some draugrs in the tombs, like Bleak Falls Barrow and stuff like that, because there is a large section in my Skyrim track where there's all draugr voices and hag raven voices. So I want to go and get shots of those guys, which means I'm going to have to teleport over to Blind Cliff Cave using the COC console command and the Blind Cliff Cave location ID. Daytime Films, how's it going, buddy? Destruction. I use Cable Guy's Time Shaper. Cable Guy's Time Shifter. What's that? What's that do? Cable Guy's Time Shifter. What does this do? Is this just like a Time Shaper, I should say, sorry. Transform any sound. Oh, interesting. I'm going to have to keep this tab open, I reckon, because that's interesting. Shape the flow of time to create everything from essential. I see. Interesting. And there's a video I have to check out as well. Cool. Thanks for the tip there, D2 Truction. That's a new one for the toolbox. More money to be spent. Oh boy. Anyway. So, what am I going to have to do? I'm going to have to bust open Steam as usual. Actually, what I'll do, I'll show you some of the shots I got last night. Let me show you some of my shots. So here's me getting some shots of Arn Gear. I had to spawn Arn Gear on top of this mountain because I wanted to get a shot of him talking, blabbing away. As you can see, I've implemented a lot of depth of field effects there. There's some more. Can't really get him saying the actual lines I want, which is going to be difficult. And then here I set up this shot of this guy bashing away. That's half game speed so that I get a bit more slow motion effect. Just makes it look nicer, and it also helps you to see what the sound is. I actually had to set the game hour to 11.5 to get that exact light. That's the nicest light I could find for that particular scene. Every time I set the game time, he kept disappearing, so it took me a few goes. And then here again, I found this guy in Whiterun, so I adjusted the game time to get that light right on his face, and it actually looks bloody nice. I'm actually really happy with that. There's a slight variation. He kept leaning backwards like this every time I got him to speak, so that took a few goes as well. Also got some shots of the Whiterun guard. You never see him speaking, so I figured I'd just get a shot of him like that and just have that whenever we hear the Whiterun guard voice in the Skyrim track. Alright, and then this guy, I've got quite a few vocal lines of him extracted from the game, so I definitely want to have him in there. So I've got quite a lot of footage of him just talking. Hopefully I can get some lip sync in the edit at some point. Quite happy with that shot, actually. That came out really, really nicely. That's one of the ones I did before. A little bit different. Just going back on my Tomos here so you guys can see the shots I took yesterday. This guy, I would have liked this shot for footstep sounds, but unfortunately his feet go straight through the bloody ground. So that's just kind of dumb. That doesn't make Bethesda look very good, does it? Rubbish. It's otherwise a pretty cool shot. And then I got some more axe chopping because at the very start of the Skyrim track we do have some axes there. Got this one as well. Each of these shots takes sort of like 5 minutes to set up because the problem is you have to freeze the game, adjust the camera, get your depth of field set up correctly, the focus distance, the amount of bokeh, however you want to pronounce it. And it's especially difficult when you want the character to speak, because I don't have any console commands for triggering dialogue. I'm sure there's a mod out there, but the fact I'm using the special edition of Skyrim makes that even more difficult. And this is the last stream we did. I did finally manage to get some shots of the dog barking. There's a shot of him somewhere here, somewhere. Woof woof, there we go. That's the one. Lovely. Okay, so in this stream, the goal is to go and get shots of Draugrs and Hagravens, which is going to involve a lot of umming and ahhing and piss-arsing around and just a whole lot of not paying attention to the comments. So I do apologize in advance if this is a terribly boring stream. We've got Derps McPineapple there. How's it going, buddy? Okay. We've got RF Nito, who says Skyrim never ceases to amaze me. Yeah, me too. I think across all my platforms, I've got a good 500 hours in this game. Such an amazing game. Huskin, how's it going? Doesn't that firm grain cause the flickering in the DOF? No, the flickering in the DOF is caused by a low sampling rate on your ambient occlusion, which is something I actually managed to fix. We had a fair bit of flicker last time because I wasn't aware that you had to actually save and then reapply the ENB engine for your sampling rates to be updated. So the film grain is actually, I've actually left that in there. It's a nice little effect. You probably won't see it by the time YouTube gets in there with its compression, but I'm capturing all my footage into ProRes 422 using an Atomos Ninja Flame. That will capture all the film grain in all of its detail, and I hope to upload it in 1440p, even though I'm capturing in 1080-60. Did you guys find out, did you hear the news that Fallout 76 has just been announced? Go watch the trailer, the teaser trailer for Fallout 76. It looks very, very cool, very interesting. I hope it's not just an expansion pack. We're just loading up Skyrim here. M-Rector says those shots are looking good. Yeah, I think they are. They took a long time to make, but we're definitely getting there. Okay, so let's continue. Let's get back into my save file here. I think at some point I'm going to have to actually load up my old save files from a few years ago, because I'm running a Khajiit at the moment, and they're just, you know, they just don't look very good. So the problem here is I've made the mistake of saving my file with basically the free camera mode enabled, so the game has freaked out. So the way we fix this is we just hit TFC and we're back to normal. So this is where I was running my shots for Arngeir, because I do have quite a few dialogue lines of the Greybeards throughout the Skyrim track. This guy is Arngeir. He's kind of the first Greybeard you meet. He's the chief that lives on the Bleak Falls, what is it called? High Hrothgar. And he's actually voiced by Christopher Plummer. Christopher Plummer is the fellow in The Sound of Music. He's the captain who Julie Andrews goes and works for and gradually falls in love with. Did you have to download the original Skyrim? Not yet, but if I want to get the Puppeteer Master mod to control my own animations and things, I probably will have to, because I don't see an SE version for that mod, unfortunately. I think I really should have just started with the original vanilla Skyrim. That's probably what I should have done. See, so for this shot I actually had depth of field enabled, which meant I had to go and change the focal distance, which is kind of a bitch really, because it's a lot of piss-arsing around. You know, you've got to find that focal distance, which means you have to, there we go, that's actually not bad. And then I'll come in here, I'll pull the interface back up, I'll set the game time to like 0.01, which is pretty much just frozen, and then I should be able to just sort of move in and out to get the focus exactly where I want it, and then when I want a shot, I'll just disable the interface, unpause the game, set the time scale back to 1, and try to get him to speak, which is actually, you can't enter free camera mode when you're in the middle of a dialogue session. So what I have to do is trigger a dialogue line, escape from the dialogue thing, and then get back into 100% game time speed so that he continues speaking. It's kind of a bitch, to be honest with you. It's actually not fun. Anyway, let's get back to normal here. Let's get FOV back to 60 or so. Let's get depth of field off, because that's kind of extreme. If I want to, this is the one thing that ENB doesn't do very well. It doesn't render snow. So if I wanted snow in my shot, this is not going to work. What you got to do is you got to come in here and you got to actually, you got to tick use original object processing. So now our snow looks the way it should, but we're not using the ENB object processing algorithms, which, you know, isn't ideal. I want to use all of that goodness. This obviously looks a bit more like vanilla Skyrim now, albeit with some indirect lighting and ambient occlusion. That guy in the sewers under Riften is voiced by Max von Sydow, says Huskin. That's right. Not all of his lines sound like Max von Sydow, though. There are a few lines in the story quest, where he sounds really odd. It's like it's almost a different voice actor they had to get in when Max couldn't make it into the studio or something. There's a lot of talk about that on the internet. It's like, is that Max's voice in this line? Dunno. Sounds kind of weird. There's an arrow. don't really need to bother with that. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to get to this place, Blind Cliff Bastion, which is apparently at Blind Cliff Cave. Hopefully there's no baddies there that I can't possibly take down, because I kind of need to get in there to activate this quest. And if I can't do that, then what I'm going to have to do is spawn a Hagraven and get her to talk. Yeah. So let's just see what happens with this. Blind Cliff Cave 01. Let's see what happens if we COC to that ID. Oops. Wrong one. What are we doing here? Shift enter. So, let's go COC. Blind Cliff Cave 01. What does that do? That should take us straight there. Yep. And sure enough, we're inside. FOV is kind of tight. Let's open that up a bit. And it's very, very dark, because as I was saying at the start of this stream, I have not adjusted my settings for interior locations, so this is going to be a bit of a pain in the arse. I think just in the interest of getting around first, let's just go ambient lighting intensity, interior, interior day, interior night. Oh, and of course it might help if I re-enable my object processing. No, that's not going to make a difference. Oh, there we go. Oh, original post-processing. It's a whole different story, isn't it? It's interesting that that ambient doesn't want to come up all the way. Ambient lighting, intensity, interior. You see, this is not having an effect at all. Interesting. And problematic as well. Assuming this is an interior. Ambient lighting intensity, day 1.5. So here we go again down the rabbit hole of, oh my god, what's going on? Okay, so apparently the Hagraven we're looking for is in here somewhere. Let me just make this a bit brighter, because this is not easy to see. ENB effects. Boy. Do we have interior? Yeah, we do. Interior settings, brightness interior. Okay, so maybe that's our problem. Let's put that to like 1.3 for now. We've got tone mapping set to 4, which is maybe a bit higher. That's a bit better. Now we can actually see what the hell's going on. There's a Hagraven here who starts the quest. I feel like this is a little bit too far into the cave. And I am running a very low-level crappy car Jeet here, which is not what I want. I want to go and get my level 40 Orc Berserker. But that's a save file I'm going to have to find on a hard drive somewhere. Dub Phobia, how's it going, buddy? He's asked a question. Let me just have a quick glance. Will you be my dad? I haven't seen mine in 15 years. He went out to get milk and never came back. Oh, I'm sorry. I imagine that's a joke. Sure, I'll be your daddy. Maybe it's only affecting the original ambient lighting. No, it affects the ambient light regardless of whether or not it's handled by ENB. Yeah, but for some reason it's not. Interesting. What happens if we adjust the other parameters? Let's just have a look. Let's just kill the interface. Let's pull this back up. Let's, because if the interior settings don't work at all, then that's a problem. Let's see if the indirect lighting adjusts this stuff. We got it set to 5. Yeah, you see the problem here. Boy. Oh, I see. There is an interior value. Yeah, so you can see there. That definitely has an effect, so that's good. We definitely have access to graphics settings for interior spaces independently from exterior spaces, so that's very, very good. That's what we want. Now, we need to find this Hagraven. Who the hell is... Oh, cool. Dub Phobia is hosting me. Well, that's handy. Cripes, that doesn't look quite right. We must be up very high. My god. Okay, what's the time of day? Let's change this to 12. Let's go. Let's set the weather to clear. It's a bit easier to see what I'm doing. And the fob is really tight. God, look at those textures. I don't remember them being that bad. Christ. I know I haven't done this quest yet. The question is, where the hell is this Hagraven at? Crikey. I might have to go read about the... Oops, I might have to go read about the quest, actually. Who's that? Is he... who are you? Oh, God, I'm in trouble. Woo! I'll take your arrows and your forsworn arrows. I feel like I'm coming at this from the wrong direction. Oh God, here we go. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be a bit of a... I'm gonna be a bitch here. I'm gonna be a bitch, and I'm just gonna enable God mode because I'm not actually trying to play the game. I am actually on a mission to get shots. This bitch would otherwise kill me. And I'm trying to find my Hagraven. What's that? Ooh. I love how that little diamond thing there is actually creating a lens flare. That is a result of the lens module here. You see, if you go into effect and you disable lens, that gets rid of that. So that's quite nice. I like that. It's just very reflective, that rock, or whatever it is. It's much too bright. I need to change that particle intensity, I think. How's it going, buddy? I've come to end you. Oops. Let me just get my interface back on. And I'll get back to kicking your ass. You see, there's a lot of shadow here that needs to be brightened up too. What's he got? I'm just getting lost in the game now. This is like the weirdest music to have for combat. What's that? That's Blind Cliff Cave again. But where's the Hagraven bitch? Maybe I'll find her somewhere else. I might have to read about this quest. Hang on a sec. The quest takes place at Blind Cliff Cave. Approaching the cave, the Dragonborn will become aware of a conflict between two non-human characters. Really? I don't know. Melka can be found in a cage. I don't know about that. Quest giver, Melka. Where's Melka? Well, at least I know her reference ID, so I can spawn her if I want to. I'm actually just going to write that down so that I've got that on my little list of console commands. Because I want to get shots of the Hagraven talking. So this is a good one. This is a good code. 000 220 B. That is Melka the Hagraven. Hagraven, one word. There we go. So at least I can spawn her if I can't find her. I don't know if that's a good idea. I think you need to have like unique NPCs within the world. You shouldn't have more than one. Right, so apparently she's in a cave. That's right. Right, so maybe we just need to go back into this cave. Maybe that's the secret. Let's get back in there. There is definitely a cage that I think... Ooh, it's a nice shield. Alright, let's get in there. Yeah, I can spawn her, but I don't know if she'll spawn, you know, as a quest giver for that quest. Where the hell is this? This is different. This is not what I remember at all. Let me just, let's just make it a bit brighter inside. Because this really is, like, wow. And I'm going to have to adjust. Geez, these textures are... God, you know, sometimes I'm making these shots and I'm thinking, damn, maybe I should go and get a texture pack or something, you know? Some of these are bad. You forget this game is like, what is it, 10 years old, 11? What is it now? Okay, I don't know where I am or where I'm going. This does not feel like where I want to be. Bugger knows where this is. I might have to just teleport back. COC... What's it called? Blind Cliff... Was it Blind Cliff Cave? Sure was. Okay. So apparently there's a cage. Well, there's a cage. Looks like she's already... Like someone's already let her out. Or someone's been let out. Let's just go through here. 7 years old, says Dubphobia. Came out in 2011. You see, I specifically remember the Hagraven getting you to press one of these things. I'm sure I haven't done this quest yet. What am I? I'm level 22. Maybe I have. Maybe I have, you know. 22. Jeez, really? Really? Is there a list of Is there a list of quests that I've completed? Yeah, here we go. There's a good chance I've done this, you know. It's called no, it's not in there. The quest is called The Affairs of Hagravens. So if I've done it, it should be in this list, right? No, I'm not seeing it. I hope there's nothing else that triggers it. Maybe I have to start another quest to enable this one, huh? Oh, what a pain. What a pain. I'm not totally happy with how the interiors are looking at the moment. They're looking a little bit ordinary. You see, if we compare this to the original Skyrim, if we just go back to the vanilla state here, where are we? Global use effect. So there's vanilla Skyrim, and there's ENB. So yeah, it's kind of just brighter and more colourful, which is, I kind of want I want more than that. We'll figure it out. We'll get in there. But I want to find this bloody Hagraven first. If I can't, I'm just going to have to. I'm just going to have to spawn her, I guess. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Or if it'll work. God, I remember going through all these caves. I spent just hours and hours. There's so many. Who's that? Is that... Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop a save here before I start breaking things. No. Actually, yes. It's already made one for me, so we'll just resave to it. So what's this bitch's problem? Who are you? There she is! But you're supposed to be in a cave. A cage, excuse me.
Do you like my pretty tower?
I have done this. I have done this, you know.
Live in my tower. Roost in my home. Mix pretty boys.
Yeah, see, those are the vocal files that I used. Okay, well, I don't want her standing and talking. I want her walking and talking, so... Okay. What's the oldest save file I have here? Level 6. Right, that's probably... yeah. Boy, is that a good idea? Is that a good idea? This might crash. This might crash. Yeah, you can reset quests, Didoism, but I don't know if that... I don't know if, like, if that actually resets all the triggers and the cages opening and all of that stuff. Man, where the hell is this? Where am I? This is not at all where I want to be. Man, these textures are ugly. Can we at least get some nice weather? What is the, hang on a second, what's my, it's TCL, there we go. Whoops. Because I want to get down there, really. I wonder if there's a movement speed modifier for the player itself. I just want to check up on my graphic settings and see if they still look to my liking. I did tweak them quite a bit the other day. we go. I should be alright now. I've got God mode on anyway, so I shouldn't die from a fall, I don't think. Yeah, this is looking okay. I had to adjust the fog distance the other day. Look, he's through the ground. Look how dodgy that is. It's so dodgy. Oh, there he goes. Anyway, yeah, let's compare this with the original. The original Skyrim. Yeah, that's hideous, isn't it? That really is no good. The one thing I have not yet figured out how to do is get shadows and ambient occlusion to come from the vegetation. You see these little shrubs. You know, these shrubs are kind of just sticking out of the ground. You know, they don't look very good. That or they're just too dark. Maybe there's a way to brighten them up. Okay. Well, yeah, this is looking pretty good. Let's try it. I found some other weather codes, actually. Let's try overcast weather. D299E. Holy shit, that's a lot of fog. I'm going to have to change that scaling. Bloody hell, that's no good. That fog's got to come all the way down. Let's try 10E1F1. Ah, it's just cloudy. That's not actually overcast. I see. What about fog? C821E. Yeah, that's foggy, alright. Cool. I'm definitely going to want some shots like this when I'm versing a dragon. When I'm getting, like, shots of dragon roars and, like, up close in a dragon's face and stuff, and maybe even my player, you know, if I can detach the camera... Oh, that's another mod I'm going to need. Damn, it's dark. Fucking hell. Actually, there's a way to change the game's the time scale so that the game's not moving so quickly, and the bloody sun isn't changing direction every few seconds. Change set time scale to, we'll do like 2 minutes of game time to every 1 minute of real world time, and we'll set it back to 12 PM. So hopefully this won't change so quickly. Yeah, this looks very moody. That fog in the background needs to be adjusted very badly. Anyway, so here I am, level 6 now. So let's see what happens if I go back to this place. What was it? Blind Cliff Cave. Let's go and see if I've done this quest at level 6. I doubt it. I doubt it very much. So this door is now closed, you see. And there she is. There's Melka. All right, let's get some shots of that bitch. And I'm gonna have to... Yeah, here we go.
Petra put me here, stole my tower, hid her, threw her bones, let me out, kind me.
She sounds like she's had a lot of cigarettes every day. You know, like I think she needs a lozenge. Okay. Too bad that the fog doesn't hide the sky as well. Yeah, it's not a very good fog. I've definitely seen much more realistic fog in games. I'm sure there's a mod for that too somewhere. Would you share your ENB settings once you're done with the video? Yeah, I don't mind. You guys can... I've spent hours tweaking them to get them where I want them. I'll just show you the shots that I got the other day. I managed to get the bokeh, the depth of field looking really, really nice. Can you see that? Yeah. If I just go back a few shots. That took me like 10 minutes to set up, that shot. There's some indirect lighting there. There's a lot of extra ambient occlusion. There's some lens flaring. If you look at the anvil, the light behind it actually streaks across the anvil because the anvil's quite dark. So that's part of the lens effects that I managed to bust open. And that's changing the time of day, just for the people who've joined the stream. So this is what I want to do with the Hag Ravens and the Draugrs in the underground tombs and stuff, but probably much wider angle shots to get the atmosphere of the tombs. And I want them moving. I know I'm probably making more work for myself, but I want them to be talking and walking at the same time, so we don't have these static shots all the time. And then that shot I'm quite happy with. You can see there's a bit of skylight coming from the top. That's the image-based lighting that I adjusted in the ENB settings so that there's light coming from the sky, not just from the sun. So if you look at the shadow that his head's casting on his shoulder there, even though the sun is creating a shadow, there's still blue coming from the sky above. And when I was doing my Data and Picard video, that's something that I had to simulate. I had to have a very bright 1 kilowatt light to create sunlight, and then I had a light beaming at the ceiling with a blue gel. I think we're getting sounds of the Hagraven from Skyrim. Yeah, so it's, you know, it's skylight and then it's sunlight, and then it's also indirect light from the ground. That's how you create realistic outdoor lighting. Let's get back to the game here. So I'm going to have to try and strategize. I'm going to have to strategize how I'm going to do this. I could get her in the cage. That's pretty cool. What happens if I click that dialogue thing?
Petra, evil Petra put me here, stole my tower, hid her, chew her bones, let me out, kind meat.
Alright, so can I, see, I kind of wish I could get her to say that line again. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set game time to like 0.01 here, so that I can freeze it more or less. She should be pretty damn still at this point. Now here's the problem. I can't free the camera when I'm in dialogue mode. That's a prop. So I'm going to have to trigger a dialogue line, and then I'm going to have to come out of dialogue mode, then enable free camera, and then get the game speed back to 100%, and then record her flapping her lips. So before I bother with any of that, I'm going to just get out of dialogue mode. I think, maybe. I just needed to look at me. If she can. Shit. Am I still in TFC, am I? Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's just freeze that there. Let's get back into TFC if I can. Alright, so I wouldn't mind starting off getting a shot of her speaking like this. So I want a much tighter shot like this. I don't want the god-awful textures of the bars in there. So we're going to have to go into the depth of field settings. Let's enable depth of field. Where are we? Let's get that on. Okay, let's move this guy over here. Let's just get rid of the HUD. Alright, let's go into our depth of field here. And let's try and get a focus point on her face there somewhere. Or as close to as I can, and then I'm just going to have to tweak these things. I definitely don't want those bars in the shot. I want those to be pretty substantially blurred out, because they look like crap. Okay, now that we got that, let's just move this a bit. There we go. That's looking much nicer. We'll maybe pull in focus a bit more. Zoom, sorry. Alright, and that's starting to look like a nicer shot. Yeah, the lighting I'm not massively happy with, but we can change all of that stuff. So let's get interface back on here, and let's see what we can do with our light. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually probably pull the exposure down a bit, because the image is a bit too bright for me. I want to be inside a tomb or an underground kind of a place. So let's pull brightness down a bit, sort of like 1.4, 1.5. Tone mapping curve, we can maybe boost that. Maybe come up with our brightness a bit, so already that's starting to look a bit nicer. Saturation interior, we could have that like all the way up, but that's, you know, actually, yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. That's looking quite nice. That's looking quite nice. Let's maybe, I wouldn't mind a tighter shot. FOV 30, let's try 35. Alright, and I kind of want something like this. That's a cool shot right there. Yeah, and then I might just kind of move in and out. Let's just change the camera move speed because I need to be able to move the camera to get that face really sharp. There we go. All right. So I'm actually not... That's not too bad. That's okay. It's not quite the thing that I'm after in terms of color. So let's see what we can do about that. Let's see if we can't make this bluer. Let's go see what we've got. Environment, direct lighting, ambient lighting intensity, interior. Yeah, you see, there we go. It does actually have an effect. There we go. So we could do that, but that looks awful. That's kind of just looking like old Skyrim again. We definitely only want like a little bit of that. A little bit. Specular amount. I don't know if that's going to change her skin, because that's an object thing. I think we have to go into the object menu if we want to adjust something like that. Object. Subsurfacing multiplier. You can actually change that inside as well, which is crazy. Interior day. Don't know if that's going to affect hag ravens. Oh, that's specular, sorry. Subsurface scattering. Interior. No, that's not going to affect hag ravens. Well, that's okay. That's fine. Let's tweak the indirect lighting a bit. Whoops, that needs to be the interior value. See, so without indirect lighting, that's what we've got. Kind of looks a bit more video gamey. If we come back up, now we're starting to get light. Well, the simulated effect of light bouncing around off surfaces a bit more. Just looks a bit nicer. So I think somewhere around 12 I'm happy with. That's kind of cool. Environment, what have we got? There's just not much I would change with this shot really, because she's in a cage and there's nothing really behind her. Interior settings, contrast 0.95, so obviously that's too dark. 0.9 I feel is nice. Let me just check the waveform monitor on my Atomos and see where our levels actually are. Yeah, so you see we could actually... can we raise this value anymore? No, 2 is our maximum. So let's maybe get this guy up a little bit. And that's not bad. That's not bad. That's kind of cool. And just for interest, let's have a look at what this would look like if I was running this vanilla. There we go. So that's what this shot would look like without our E&B graphics mod in there. And that is, that's quite a substantial difference, eh? I might actually just go and bump our depth of field up a little bit further, just to really pull the focus of your eye to her face. That's what we want. Far blade curve. Actually, that's even cooler because now we've blurred out the rest of her body, which is really nice. That's really cool, but it's just a bit extreme. So let's just reduce the size of DOF that's happening. And that's looking a bit better. Cool. I'm not too... Yeah, what I was going to do is I was going to come into post-processing and I was going to play around with vignette. The vignette helps us to kind of draw more focus to the inside of the shot. 0.6 is maybe a bit high. We might do 0.4. I've still got grain turned up because we are inside where you would probably need a higher film sensitivity. I am going to increase the grain sensitivity to maybe like 0.25, and that's much more what I would expect to see. Supposedly you can visualize it, but I don't really see anything there. Okay, HDR. This kind of just limits the amount of exposure that gets through to the image. Like, that's actually kind of cool. I don't mind that so much. 1.5. Let's maybe even try like 1.7, 1.6. And then finally, I'm going to come and adjust the gain because we are really quite dark. Let's try maybe like 1.3. No, that's a bit too much. Let's try 1.15. And that's looking pretty cool. I don't mind that. I kind of imagine something a bit, you know, cooler, a bit bluer. Let's see. What happens if we dial this down? Oh, I see. Blue. I see. Gosh, that creates a whole different grade. I kind of like the way that is. That kind of makes the skin look more like skin. Color / gamma DPX saturation. I think we want that. We definitely want that. Maybe even, yeah, I think 2 is great. Yeah, the only thing I wanted was just kind of more blue because we are, you know, we are underground. Red Sea, 0.4. Not that kind of blue though. Might have to be a actually, yeah, that's kind of what I wanted. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's much more in keeping with what I imagined for that section of the Skyrim track. I don't really want warm colors, you know? It's not really what I want for that. Okay, that's looking cool. I like that. I just wish there was a way to make... yeah, somehow the subsurface scattering doesn't... It's not being applied to the Hagraven skin. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so now the challenge... That's a cool shot. I like that. The challenge now is getting her to bloody well talk. That's the issue. See, if I just... Yeah, where am I here? Let's try and get... Let's try and get our interface back on. So, yeah, if I put game time back to 1, there she is, she's writhing about, I want her talking, really, is what I want. Yeah, that's an issue. What I might do is just roll on this. I think this is quite a cool shot, and I want to get what I've worked for so far. So let's just get rid of our interface. Let's record this onto the Atomos Ninja Flame. This is 60 FPS in 1080 HD. I can't do higher resolutions because of the fact that I have to stream this as well, and my Elgato HD 60S can't go higher than 1080. And I want to make sure I hit 60 FPS as well, which is nice. I thought the other day, actually, you know, maybe 60 FPS isn't good, because if you want a filmic look, you shouldn't be doing 60, you should be doing 24. That creates a much more filmic look. In fact, I might be able to demonstrate that here, actually. If I go performance, there is a frame rate limiter here somewhere. Statistics. No. Global temp variables. Engine force VSync. Well, that's useful. Limiter. There you go. So you can enable a frame rate limit. And if I put this to 20... and we unpause it. See, look at that. Now, you guys probably can't see a huge difference because the stream is only at 30 FPS. So the difference between 24 and 30, not a big deal, to be honest with you. Not really a big difference, but that's a much more filmic looking frame rate. All that's missing is motion blur. That's all that's missing. But because we're going to have so many shots racing past us every second in Skyrim Symphony, I want to make sure that each one of those shots has as many frames as possible so that your eye kind of takes it in. So, yeah, I'm going to go for 60 FPS here. Now, I want to get this thing talking. And I do say thing because, my God, I don't know, I'm not sure that's a woman anymore. That's like Hillary Clinton next election. Anyway. Looks like Fallout 3, says M. Ractor. Kind of wish these comments had timestamps on them. Is any of that background music released? Some of it is, yeah. It would be cool to have the bars in the shot to show that she's in a cage. Those comments are old, yeah. Yeah. People have tuned out, people have gone home. I don't blame them. Okay, so I want to get this Hagraven talking. How the hell am I going to do that? Well, it might help to bring interface back on. Now, what happens if I hit TFC? Because that's going to go back out. If I hit TFC again, yeah, see, so, yeah, this is the problem. I'm going to have to, oh boy. I need to get in there, and I need to Is this TFC? What is this? Okay, so yeah, what's going on? Let's see if I can figure this out. Game time is 1. Okay, so that's TFC. So why the hell couldn't I move? Or am I already in dialogue mode? I just needed to talk. That's all I need. I just need that disgusting face to talk. This would be kind of cool too, actually. With the light kind of only on the one side of her face. But then you don't see her too well, so you kind of want like a mix. But yeah, look, I need to, shit. Am I stuck in something here? What's going on? I can't bloody well move. Maybe I'm stuck. Light compositing is now on. Oh, interesting. No. Right. Why am I stuck? Have I done a bad? Let's just go here again. Is it Blind Falls Cave? No. Shit, what's it called again? Blind Cliff Cave, there we go. Let's just teleport back, because, yeah, you see, I can't fucking move. I can't fucking move. Alright, let's see if it's a game issue or if it's a settings issue. Okay, so at least we've got that. Not sure what happened there, but I want to get shots of that Hagraven talking. That's the big thing. That's the big thing for me. Okay, so let's try this again. Those rocks are grotesque. Blind Cliff Cave. Let's get in there. Alright. So, what's going to happen... Let me actually just save here. Because what's going to happen, I'm going to walk through this door, and she's going to start yapping. Alright? Well, she should. Oh, God. Okay, so there she goes. She's going to start talking. So I'm going to try and get my shot again. Because I want that bitch talking in my shot. So the dialogue line is running, but the lips are not. Okay, so I'm going to just freeze this as much as I can. So game time is basically 0. So, yeah, let's do this again. What was this? Was it FOV 40? And then we'll get our depth of field back on soon. Okay. And when we unpause the game, her lips will be moving, which will hopefully give me something to use in the edit for when I have Hagraven vocals. That's the bloody challenge. Alright, let's just see if I can find my original focal point. That's it there. Something like that. I've got to be honest. Yeah, I do want her looking at camera, yeah. Which means I have to be where I was as a player, not the camera. Alright, so that should be good. Let's turn off interface. And let's change the game time back to 1. Okay, so now in theory, when I unpause the game, we should get her moving and talking. No, definitely not. Ah, she's actually... Ah, I see. She's looking around and talking. That's part of the animation script. I see. Okay. God. God. Alright. Yeah, that's a real challenge. You see, now I'm stuck again. I'm completely unable to interact with anything. This must be like something to do with the interior because this was not happening before. Crap. TFC. Yeah, there's the free camera. But what about the bloody... Like, even no clip doesn't work. That's a shock. Yeah, there's something really broken there, I tell you. Okay. Well, bit by bit, we are getting shots of the Hagraven talking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get her out of the cage. Yeah, you see, I think it's because I'm trapped in a dialogue thing here and they don't like me messing with that.
Let me out.
Try to get a clip of the door opening to her. I could.
I have a pretty staff. Help me find Petra. Wring her neck, pluck her eyes. Take my prize staff. I just want my tower back.
Okay. So, we don't really have much light. There's not a lot of light. When she's going to come out of the cave, there's not going to be much there. So, let's see. What's the order in which... If I want to get a shot... Oh, how's it going? Shah the One, good to see you. No, we're not collecting samples. The track is done. The track's 5 minutes long. I made it 4 years ago. Everything's done. I just need to get shots of all the bloody characters. And that's going to take some doing. So here I am trying to get the Hagraven in this cave. Yeah, I could get her coming out of the cage, I suppose. It would mean I would have to pop this. Let's do that. Or do I need...
Petra, cut her eyes.
Do I have to go and,
Do you like my pretty tower?
What do I have to do?
Petra, cut her eyes. Petra, cut her eyes.
Do I need to maybe,
Do you like my pretty tower?
Cage gate. Do I need to maybe... Is there maybe a lever or something I've got to pull? What's that do?
Yes.
There we go. Okay, she's off. Now, oh boy. So, okay. I'm just going to do free camera. And then we're going to reduce the game speed to maybe 0.5. How fast is that? It's still pretty quick. Let's maybe do like 0.3. Alright, and then I'm going to want to be able to move with her. This is the problem, so camera speed is going to have to be... See, and like there's not really any light on her, so this is the challenge. I wonder if she's going to keep moving. Actually, I was reading the other day that the way they got those smooth rotating camera shots for the trailers is with a thumbstick. Because obviously you can't move your mouse very smoothly. It just comes up as jitter. Whereas with a thumbstick, you could get very smooth shots. So I've thought about doing that. Oh, so that's much too fast. That's not fast enough. So we've got a game speed here of 0.3 and a camera speed. See, so really what I want is like, is she going to come up these stairs? Yeah. So, geez. Yeah, moving targets, man. Moving fucking targets. That's Boy, that's... I might have to do this in slow motion and then speed it up, you know? Game time 0.1. Yeah, I'd think even less than that. 0.04. Alright, and then the camera motion speed's gonna have to be faster as well. Let's just wait till she gets in here. The problem is she's not really moving her lips. So, you know, this is only going to be so useful. This is only going to be so useful. And yeah, this is going to be really difficult. That's a very orange light. And that's that's a lot of depth of field. Bloody hell, that really is a bit over the top. I don't like the orangeness of that light. That's really not doing it for me. Let's just see what happens if we go and adjust this. Oh, 0.6 is the highest we can go. Might have to find her somewhere else. Yeah. This is going to be a challenge. This is why you know, characters that are standing still, it's just so much easier. Let's just lower this because this is crazy. You see, like, yeah, her voice just isn't moving quickly enough. What happens if I put autofocus on here? And then we do that. Maybe that'll just help to track the focus with her. I'm actually just going to roll on this while I still can. See what I mean? Like, you cannot get a smooth mouse movement at all. Yeah, well, this is too hard. What we're going to do is we're going to turn off all this shit. We're going to find her where she's standing still. Because moving targets are very, very, very difficult. Where'd you go? There she is. And I don't like the light in here. It's just much too orangey. It's not what I want for that section. Which lever am I pulling, Melka?
Such a kind nibble you are.
Right. Just figure it out then, yeah? There you go. Gee, who'd have thought it would be the middle one? Oh, we're gonna kill some shit. Damn, took care of her in no time. Can't get my weapons up, you know. What's going on? What are you doing? Ah, she pulled that. Just gonna increase ambient light here, because once again it's just, you know, bloody hard to see in here. Ambient lighting intensity. It needs to be high. It needs to be really high. Cripes. You see, I would have loved to get a shot of her walking down here, but it's just, that's hard, you know? You got to time it just right. I think what we'll do, right, we're going to focus on the easy shots first, yeah? Let's focus first on shots that I can actually realistically get.
You'll find a place to brutalize.
Really annoys me there's no shadow under her feet there. Naughty, naughty. Actually, I wonder if there's not something we can do about that. Ambient occlusion is where we would go. God, what's the time? I'm getting hungry again. 1 o'clock in the morning. Damn. SSAO game. AO amount. I don't think that does anything. That does bugger all. AO intensity. Let's just set that to 0. Oh, you see, this is why. Because there's a separate value for ambient occlusion inside. Sampling range. Yeah, that's much too high. I don't know if that's better or worse. It's kind of like... let's just see what happens if we play with this. Now that we're inside for a change. Sampling range 1. Whoops. Damn, I'm screwing up all my values. Oh, let's turn down that ambient light because that's too much for me now. It looks a little more realistic. And then I'm going to have to try and get her to talk. I did it with the other NPCs, so I'm sure I can do it with this one. Whoops. It's a numbers game. That's what this is. It's a whole lot of damn numbers. AO mixing type interior. I don't see any difference there. Okay. So you're gonna chill there, huh? You're just gonna chill.
We go up, yes. Always up. We go up, yes. Always up.
Alright, well I can get her mouth moving a bit there.
Do you like my pretty tower?
Sort of. I can sort of get her mouth moving. So let's, Alright, let's put game time to, like, basically 0.
Petra, cauterize.
And now, in theory, if I put this back on 1, yeah, her dialogue actually continues on her mouth. So that's good. Let's pause the game. Let's, initiate a dialogue line. Val, good to see you, buddy, in the comments. How's it going? The soundtrack right before that. Yeah, just to show you guys, I'm here trying to get shots of hag ravens for the Skyrim track. We have to get to this quest here. This is called the Affairs of Hag Ravens, which means I've had to use the console to teleport to Blind Cliff Cave using the console and all that shit. So this is Melka that we're shooting at the moment. I've recently picked up this really tasty mouse, just for those who've joined the stream. This is a Logitech G400. People rave and rave about cordless mice, but I'm not sold, because if you go to your click latency tests here, this is last updated 14th of March, all the mice with the lowest amount of input lag, you know, the Logitech G5, the G400, like the one I've got, 0.7 milliseconds latency. You go down to your wireless mice here, which I think is like your Logitech MX, your MX 5518, that's 7.7 milliseconds. It's crazy. Even corded mice can have really nasty input lag. Like the, where is it? The SteelSeries Rival, which I've also got, has 7 milliseconds for some reason. So the G400, this is perhaps the best mouse I've ever had. Razer. Alright, let's take a look at Razer then. So, let's see, the Razer Copperhead has 0.8 milliseconds. That's great. That's pretty much like a good contender to the G400. But then you go down, the Razer Death Adder 3G, 2.9, not bad. Not bad. Razer Diamondback 4. Anything that's like 7 or over or 8 is probably a wireless mouse, like the Death Adder Elite Diamondback Chrome. I'd be surprised if that's corded. Razer Taipan is 10. Razer Spectra has 14. That's shocking. So, yeah, if you want to buy a new mouse, and you know, your mouse is your weapon. If you're doing any kind of work on your computer, or you're doing gaming, you know, you have to have a mouse that's on the top of this table. This is very, very helpful. This was last updated 14th of March. So very useful. That is my favorite mouse of all time. I had a G400S, I had a G9X, which was also very, very good. The SteelSeries Rival is nice, but doesn't fit my hand very nicely. I think they might have the G9X here. Yeah, there it is, the G9X. That has 1.6 milliseconds. Also, amazing mouse, amazing. You can actually change the weight of the mouse by swapping the little weights inside out. Very, very nice. So to show you guys a quick update on the shots that I got so far for the Skyrim video, I tried getting that shot, didn't work out very well. Alright, so then we go back. I tried to get shots of her writhing around in her cage there. She's not really moving her lips, which is, yeah, it's a pain. It's a real pain. She definitely needs to be talking for me to use that shot. And then we go back. I got some shots yesterday when I wasn't streaming of on gear. Had to enable depth of field and some lens flare effects and stuff. I did manage to get him talking a bit, which is great. And then I got some shots. Fleander, good to see you. Yes, this is for Skyrim Symphony. I set up this shot here. I had to pick, I think I did like 11.5, which is like 11:30 in the morning, basically, so that the sun hits him just right. Because at the start of the Skyrim track, we have sounds of the hammer hitting the anvil. So there's one of the options I've created. And then I've got lots of dialogue in the game too. I had to set the game time so that the sun hits this guy's face at just the right angle. And I got him talking as well, which meant I had to enable the dialogue, unfreeze the game, hit record, turn off the interface. And he kept leaning back, which was a pain, so I had to give that a few shots. Alright, so this is the kind of stuff I'm after. There's the Whiterun Guard. Again, you can see that the nice thing about the ENB mod is that you can actually activate all sorts of different light sources. So if you look on his shoulder there in the shade of his head, there's still light coming from the sky. That's one of the big things you have to do if you're trying to imitate outdoor lighting. You don't just get sunlight, you get a lot of light coming from your sky. You can see in the shadows behind him blurred out as well. There's a lot of blue cast, so that's something you want to create, and that's the image-based lighting algorithm inside the ENB module. There's a similar situation, just with a slightly different time of day, more contrast, kind of like that. It's striking him very nicely, and there's a shot I'm also very happy with. I kind of want to get stuff like this similar to... there he is talking. That's very helpful. I'm going to have to find sections that I can hopefully match up to the dialogue that's used in the Skyrim Symphony track. So these are the shots I'm trying to create. And I'm very happy with how they're coming along. I'm not bothering too much with camera motion. Kind of just want to keep things simple, you know? Can't use that shot. Would have been nice, actually, for footstep sounds, but his feet are going through the soil. Useless. And then I got some shots of him chopping through the wood, because we do have wood axe, which chopping at the start of the track, forming some of the percussion. Val says, I'm getting a Razer Blade 15 hopefully soon. Has a 144Hz screen. That's good. Yeah, 144Hz. Your eye actually can't really see past 70 FPS. Some folks it's like 60, some people it's like 70, 72. But the difference you'll notice is with mouse movement. You will feel a difference. You'll feel a lot less lag at like, 120 Hertz than you will at 60. You'll definitely feel it. Even just moving your cursor around, you'll feel it's a hell of a lot smoother. And then I did manage to get a shot of this dog barking because we have a dog bark at the start of the track. Can you hear Melka breathing? That's creepy as shit. Let's get back to Melka. So I'm recording all of these shots into an Atomos Ninja Flame, into ProRes 422. What are we using? Yeah, 422. I didn't go for HQ because 422 is enough, So what I'm trying to do here is set up a shot of Melka, which means I need to do this. And she is actually about to speak. So when I unpause the game, she will flap her gob. God willing. Because it kind of sucks. You can't get her to speak once you've detached the camera from the player. It's definitely a bitch. But you see, look at the difference that depth of field makes. Like, just straight away. Bam. Bam. It's just bam. That's what you want. Now let me try and get a cooler angle here. I kind of like her hand, but yeah. See, with shots like this, it almost doesn't really matter where she is. Because when you've got that much depth of field, it's like she could be anywhere, really. You know what I mean? She could be absolutely anywhere. But anyway, that's looking kind of cool. I wouldn't mind just pulling the far blade, the far blur in a little bit, just to blur out a bit more of her body. Okay, and then we will reduce the amount of overall depth of field because it really is getting a bit crazy. It's all getting a bit nuts. So I'm looking at this on my Atomos so that I can see what it looks like in a small shot. And yeah, it's okay. I don't like the color. We might go into the post pass here. And I'm just really hoping that she actually does speak when I unpause and hit record. What's this going to do for us? Red, green. We don't want that much green. That actually helps her skin tones come out a bit, which is nice. Yeah, we'll pull in blue a bit more, get a bit of that cross-process effect. That's already looking a bit cooler, actually. I like that. Talifon Karate says maybe lower the camera angle to make it more intimidating. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. I've got so many things to think about here. You lose track of things. Let's maybe... yeah, let's give that a try. Let's go down. I need to take care of that AO. She's got a big light band around her forehead, which is not at all what I want. The only thing I don't like about this now is she's not looking at camera. You know what I mean? It's actually slightly less intimidating because of that. All of the characters in the video so far are looking straight at us, and I really like that. It's consistent and it's direct. I really wouldn't mind having her looking straight down the bottle. I definitely get what you mean, though. I think if she was looking down at us, that would be pretty cool, but then I'm going to have to go and reset a whole bunch of shit. Okay, so that's good. What else can we do here? Maybe we can increase... get a bit more contrast in here. Maybe try 2, maybe try 1.8. I'm just really trying to peel away as many warm colors as I can, because I really want this to be grim. It's a very dark section of the track. Okay. Let's just go adjust brightness for interior. Now that's already a 2. I don't really want less tone mapping because it's actually introducing a lot of haze, which is not what I'm after. We're going to do some more gain here. Let's just try 1.2. Okay, yeah. Let's just have a look at my waveform here. You guys won't be able to see it, I'm afraid. Yeah. So the shadows are in the scopes and the highlights are in the scopes. I'm quite happy with that. That's not too bad. That's a good sort of thing to go and get. Now, here's the problem. We're going to go game speed 1. The other thing that's going to happen is the autofocus might go to shit. But oh well. We'll just try it. Alright, let's see how we go. Alright, well, we got a bit of lip movement there, and now we've just got an animation loop. So, yeah. I wouldn't know. I think I wouldn't mind getting a shot maybe of a little bit more environment. Let's see what we can do there. I guess what I'm trying to do at the moment is actually focus on... Let's see, she's standing there. I'm wondering if there's an opportunity to get a silhouette or something. Not really. No, it just doesn't look like anything. Actually, why am I bothering with this? So she's got her mouth open. Man, I really wish there was a way to just get them to bloody well... to just talk, you know what I mean? That would be nice. Let's do like FOV 50. There's not much happening here in the ways of light. She's kind of just standing there for no apparent reason, you know, and I'm not a huge fan of that. Let's just get out of this.
We go up, yes. Always up.
Yeah, she doesn't even close her mouth, does she? Let's just freeze the game. Let's trigger another dialogue line. Okay. We'll come away. We'll get the camera out. I kind of like this angle here. I like the way that the walls are kind of arching in around her. I think that's pretty cool. That's a nice little composition with like the moss just over her shoulder there, not cutting into her head at all. That's a cool shot. All we need to do now really is just, whoops, we need to just go and oh man, that's overkill. That is massive overkill. And yeah, I don't know. I kind of want less ambient light. The light there kind of doesn't... It's quite sort of all over the place. I like shadow, but we'll see what we can do with this. Let's pull ambient down. Or do we need more ambient, do you think? No. What we might need is more indirect light. Yeah, it looks sort of more video gamey than the other shots. Oh, right. Oh, that's interesting. Less ambient occlusion is actually a good thing. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this shot, really. Yeah, it looks more video gamey. It Definitely looks more video gamey. Oh, I really wouldn't mind the background being kind of... Oh, that's probably overkill. Gosh, that playlist has made a full revolution, isn't it? Yeah, it's one of those, like, you don't want full-on bokeh like that, because that just looks ridiculous. You don't want just that either, because that just looks like a Gaussian blur. You kind of want somewhere between the middle. 0.3 seems to be a nice place. I'm not a huge fan of the light here, really. I just think it's kind of... meh. See, the problem with that, the reason I'm putting depth of field in, you're probably watching this thinking, I can't see where she is. She could be anywhere. And that's true, but the problem is, you got to remember, this shot is going to whiz past you in half a second. You're not going to be able to see it. If I have depth of field off, like, your eye goes everywhere. She's not easy to distinguish from the background. You see? So that's kind of why I like this depth of field, because that shot whizzes past you, but your eye goes pretty much straight. It sort of goes... Where am I? It kind of like, you know, it goes over here to her hand, and it goes to her face, and maybe her shoulder, because that's a bright bit as well. So you've got to think about that shot's only going to be on screen for a tiny fraction of a second. Where is my eye darting to? That's the problem. Fax, good to see you. So yeah, I'm not massively happy with the light in this shot. Yeah. What happens if you... Did we have fog inside? Volumetric fog. No, it's not volumetric fog we want. It's actually in the environment. I'm pretty sure we have fog on the interiors, surely. Fog color curve interior. Fog amount multiplier interior. Oh yeah, look, there we go. Oh, that's interesting, but now it's pretty much just blowing it right out, really. It's not really helping matters. It's not really helping matters. I actually kind of prefer it being off. And what happens if we go like direct lighting? Direct lighting intensity interior. Oh yeah. It certainly lights things up a bit more, but I don't know if that's really what I want. It certainly makes it more interesting. It actually kind of makes it more creepy in a way. Yeah, let me just turn off this ambient occlusion, because I'm really not liking what that's doing. See, that's too much. Okay, look, I don't feel like I'm going to get this shot really any better. So let's just roll on this. Record and unpause, and hopefully we get... Yeah, we got some mouth movement. Some, not a great deal. There you go, all that work for a shot that kind of just isn't really very good. So let's see if we can pull her through to another part of the cave. I really want to get like shots of her walking and moving through, but those are going to take a lot more time, and what I really want to do on a first pass is get all the shots that are easy to get, you know, just dialogue and talking and items that all don't really require any camera motion. That's kind of what I'm after. I think that's the smartest way to go about this. Alright, so what do we have to do here, Melka? Let me just turn my speakers up so I can hear.
You are. We go up, yes.
Alright.
Always up.
Where is that then? Can I light this? No, it's a cooking pot. We're going here then. Is this it? Oh, there we go. Here's a bitch. And I can't attack. Look at that. You know, it's almost like that's odd. Yes. Yeah, I can't attack. Something's wrong. I've managed to bust something. Maybe like my bloody mouse keys have been mapped or remapped or something. I don't know. Oh well, she sorted her out. Oh, where's she gone? I'll just let her take care of that. Actually, what would be pretty cool is, you know, you got some shots of combat. That could be pretty interesting. And now we're getting particle effects here, which is really interesting because I think particle effects, the problem with particle effects is they don't illuminate anything. When physically speaking they should, especially if it's fire or lightning or frost like you can see there. So yeah, but what you can do is you can actually use E and B to change a few particle settings as well. Light sprites, interior. Okay, so the frost thing there actually counts as a light sprite. It would make more sense to actually overexpose that because that would be quite bright in real life. But the particles, I think, is what I'm looking for. Let's see if that actually does affect these things. No, it doesn't. So what does the fire count as? I wonder what it classifies the fire as. That's interesting. Oh, maybe... Oh, well, there we go. Fire. We actually have a category for fire as well. Intensity. Right, there we go. Yeah, so there's your fire. Just doesn't actually illuminate the scene at all, which is kind of unfortunate. If this was a game in 2018, this would definitely be having an effect. But yeah, I mean, that's, you know, that's pretty cool. What happens if you enable depth of field there? Does that include the effects? Yeah, it does, sort of. That's kind of a cool shot. Let me see if I can get in here a bit better. Yeah, it's a nice contrast, isn't it? Blue and red. That's kind of what you want. The only thing is, I don't really want this Hagraven in focus. You know, like your eye is kind of peeling away to that weird mass in the top left corner. So I am going to just see if I can introduce some near blow. Yeah, that kind of helps a little bit. You can see how the depth of field thing works. It doesn't actually blur it. It just blurs it within the polygons. You see the edges of the polygons are still very sharp on the top left there, that leg. That's how a lot of games do it. It's kind of bullshit depth of field. I kind of wish someone could create a better depth of field algorithm than that. The one in Gary's mod was quite good, even that, and that was years ago. Alright, so that's out of focus. That's not going to help us at all. Actually, you know, it might have something to do with... near blow curve. No, it probably is it, but... okay, we might just have to settle for... Yeah, I like it. I don't know. I don't like the legs on the top left. It's just kind of detracting. Yeah, let's just see what happens if we unpause this. And let's do like a game time of 0.1. Let's do something really, really slow. Whoops. Alright. And is she going to come back up again? Or is that it? That's it. Alright, well let's just follow this action for a bit and see what happens. Oh, she's going for a swipe. That could be quite cool, actually. Let's just freeze this again. Let's see if we can get something else. Yeah, I think that blue and red is definitely very cool. She looks like she's gonna claw. What's this one up here doing? Being frozen. Alright, well. I mean, that's nice, but I know that the moment I unpause, you know, that's just gonna go to shit. And I think because the face doesn't have a lot of detail in it, you don't want to get too close. And I might try getting a little bit of camera motion in here too. So let's go game speed 0.1. Alright. We'll hit record. Unpause. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I just wanted to last for a bit longer. Give us some more ice. Give us some more frost. And I'll try to get it with a camera blur, a camera movement. It's not the music you'd have. Oh, look at that. She's got an arrow in her head. I'm just trying to avoid using my mouse because it's not smooth. There's a whole bunch of blood coming out there. That's pretty cool. Alright, so yeah, I don't know how I'm going to use this footage, to be honest. This is just something I saw happening and I was like, oh yeah, that could be cool to try and get. Let's put this back on and I need to get a hotkey for depth of field, you know? I really need to sort that out. Yeah, I wish I could use my weapons, I really do. This chick's got a nice body. I've got God mode on, so, you know. You can swipe all you like, love. Let's see. Let's just wait for Melka to take care of these guys. Oh, that's Petra there. Oh, I see. Yeah, come sort this bitch out. Holy moly. Damn, hope Melka's alright. Oh shit, I think Melka's dead. That's not good. Ah, Melka got fireballed. Oh, that's a shame. Oh well, she served the film community very, very well. She was... We'll have to give her the Oscar award with a coffin on stage or something. Shit, that's no good. Yeah, that's showbiz for you. Okay, how long have I been streaming for you? 142. Alright, look, I've got some shots of her. Let's just have a look at what I did get. I don't know if it's really enough. Where are we? Right, there's the shots of her swiping away. I don't know how I'm going to use that, really. Maybe we'll have like a combat section, like a combat montage. There's a little bit of mouth movement. What else have we got there? A little bit of mouth movement there. Don't know if that's going to be enough. Nothing happening there, really. Did I get mouth movement here? Sort of, but she's well out of focus for most of the time. Okay, there's a bit of mouth. Yeah, a little bit. And there she is, just standing. What I would really like to get now, I want to go into like Bleak Falls Barrow or something and try to get some shots of Draugrs. Yeah. You can try all you like, love. You can try all you like. Crikey, Moses, you're going for it, eh? You're going for it. I wish the light on it was better, because maybe we can get her up here. Come up here, love. Come up here. Oh, it's all orangey. No, I don't want that. No, it's all orangey. That's no good. Okay. Yeah. Look, Melka's dead. That's no good. Let's load this up again. And I wouldn't mind, before I finish the stream, trying to get some shots of draugrs, however you pronounce them. So, let's go and have a look and find on the internet if we can see what we need to get to Bleak Falls Barrow. Which is one of the first tombs. I could very well have finished that already. Oh well, we'll find out. Bleak. How do you spell bleak? Bleak Falls Barrow. God, I'm getting hungry. Ugh. Okay, so location, Bleak Falls Barrow. Let's click that. Location ID, exterior. So let's do Bleak Falls Barrow 01. Let's go check that out. Bleak Falls Barrow 01. Let's see where that goes. Oh, yes. Okay, so wow. Level 6, I haven't managed to do any of this stuff. The colours here are very, very saturated. Yeah, you see, my damn buttons are still fucked, hey? That's not good. It's not good news at all. Like, I've obviously, like, maybe I've disabled something in the console. Let's just reboot this puppy. Let's get this guy up and running again. I hope people are finding this, well, whatever you're taking out of this, I hope it's good. I don't know. I'm taking out of it a hell of a lot of frustration. I'm thinking, damn, there's no way I'm going to get this done. I'm never ever going to get this finished. I think the secret is to focus on the simple shots first. Get simple versions of everything first. And then get a basic edit, you know, and once I've got that, then I can focus on the... And no, this is not R&I. This is something about Rick and pills. Yeah, boot me half a gram, Sam. Which is basically a way of saying, give me half a gram of heroin. Straight in me vein. Oh, shit. This is a problem. Oh, no, it's not. Alright, let's just go down. Level 6. That should reset any problems, I hope. Otherwise, it's a problem with my mouse. Alright, well, Val and Fleander and Shah the One are enjoying it. So that is good. Okay, so there we go. I've got my mouse functions again. I must have disabled something in the console, maybe. Anyway, let's get back to Bleak Falls. Because I really want to get some Draugr shots. There's a lot of Draugr voices. Now, what is my... Oh, yeah, we didn't save our ENB settings from last time. So, let's just bring up brightness again. There we go. That's a bit better. Bring down over-brightening a little bit. I don't really want that. Okay, and now I just want to enable God mode, because I really don't want to have to put up with the hassle of actually playing the game. What are we doing here? TGM. God mode enabled. Yeah, see, this is all a bit dark. I know it's supposed to be dark in here. But we might just raise the ambient levels again. God, I don't know why I chose a Khajiit. I think I was trying to build up a sneak thief or something. Which is fair enough, but... really? How do I do this again? Oh, yeah. Gold! That's all you need in life, guys. You just need money. Money is all you need.
Think you can take me?
Oh! What? I think it tried to play a death animation and it didn't really work. Is that music too loud? I feel like it is. Let's just turn it down a bit. Okay. So yeah, while I'm in here, let me just take a look at these ambient light settings because the shadows are just a little bit too strong for me. Ambient light intensity. Whoops. Meant to say interior. Maybe that's a bit much. Okay, yeah, that's a bit better. It just makes things a little bit more visible. So, yeah, sure enough, this is Bleak Falls Barrow. I remember this. This is like right back in the middle of the game. Now, yeah, what don't I like about this? I just don't like the color of the light. I kind of want things to be warmer. Colder, I mean. We can change that. Apparently, you can also run player.modav invisibility 1 to be invisible so mobs don't attack you. No, the way you do that is you type t-detect. See? So now we've got AI detection off. That's how you disable that. I haven't heard of the player invisibility thing. But yeah, so t-detect, I'm probably going to use that. We need to wake the Draugrs up first. Actually, this will be interesting. I wonder if this is a script or if this is actual AI detection, because at some point here we will... we're going to come across a guy, aren't we? There's going to be a dude there. Look, there he is. Now, is this a script or is this actual detection? Yeah, sure enough, he's not detecting me. He's just running his little... This guy's going to get annihilated. Watch, 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 watch. He's going to get done. Idiot. What a twit! I'll take your shit then. Okay, so we need to get to the Draugrs. What do we have to do here? We got snake, fish. Pretty much just... God damn, I'm hungry. Oh, I'm gonna have to go to McDonald's again. All the shops are closed. It's 1:45 in the morning here in Perth. I hope I've got nothing on tomorrow morning. Jeez. Let me just check for a sec. No, not really. Just a phone call with a client in the evening. Yeah, the interiors are much harder to make look nice. What happens when you adjust image-based lighting? Does that even apply with interior spaces? I'd think probably not. Well, there is an interior slider. Additive amount interior day. No, that doesn't do anything. I didn't think it would. No, nothing whatsoever. That's a shame. Because you see, what you want is... you want light to be bouncing off the floors up into the roof, up into the ceiling and onto that pillar there and stuff. You know, that's what gives that away as being a bullshit computer-generated image. That's what really gives that away. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm after, sort of. You can kind of compensate, really, by bringing up ambient levels. You know, but that's not really what I'm after. Because it doesn't, yeah. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. Oh, that's a thief book, isn't it? Yep, I've done this game so many times. I just know exactly what everything is and where it is. These lesser soul gems are very useful in the game when you want to do enchanting. Yeah, enchanting, man. I tell you, that's a huge part of this game. Huge. Let's get down here. Let's get down. Usually there's some rats, some skeevers that come scampering up here. No, he's not playing you. He's not saying you want to play. I always thought it sounds like he's saying, do you want to turn or something? Oh, that's right. I turned detection off. Well, that explains it. That explains it. You see, the light in here is like, what? Where is the light coming from? What's going on? There's no shadows. There's no... You know, there needs to be an overhaul. But anyway, I want to get to those Draugrs, damn it. Oh, there's that dude that's in there. Shit! It's not... Alright, I'm gonna have to take this down as well. Damn. Right, let's fight a giant spider. Damn, that is not doing a lot of damage, mate. That's doing no damage at all. My goodness. Alright. Now, I want you guys to listen carefully because the voice, the man who voices this character, okay, is the same guy who provides the voice for Winnie the Pooh in my Boy and Bear track, okay? So you want to listen to this guy because this voice actor does voices for every bloody character in every movie. I can't remember his name exactly. Someone will come up with it in the comments. But this is the voice of Winnie the Pooh in my Boy and Bear track. Listen to this.
You did it. You killed it. Now cut me down before anything else shows up.
You wouldn't think so, would you?
Yes, the claw. I know how it works. The claw, the markings, the door in the Hall of Stories. I know how they all fit together. Help me down and I'll show you. You won't believe the power the Nords have hidden there.
It's also the guy who did the voice for the chief guard in Aladdin. Hand over the claw first.
Does it look like I can move? You have to cut me down first.
I don't know what accent that's supposed to be. Jim Cummings, yep. That's it. That is the voice of Jim Cummings.
It's coming loose. I can feel it.
No, you're not getting away, but... Oh, shit.
Never should have come.
Ah, you silly Khajiit. You silly Khajiit. Don't go and get those Draugrs now, because I want those. Shit, he's never actually fought me before. He always runs away. There's the claw. Christopher Robbins. What exactly is Rubway? What? Oh, Rubway is like... it's a way of referring to Subway as a place where a lot of rubbing occurs. Oh, don't make me think of food. I'm so hungry. Rubbing because, yeah, there's a lot of fat people going up and down the corridor. Alright, so T-Detect is off. And presumably these Draugrs are not waking. So... that's cool. I think while these guys are sleeping, I might actually come in here and get some very slow, kind of dolly shots. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, something like that. I kind of wanted it to be more side on though. Let's just turn this off. Yeah, because I'm gonna need some establishing shots at some point. That's for sure. How's it going in Canada, Val? Val's moved to Canada, guys. I am Shaijan in the comments. He's moved from Paris to Toronto. Shit, what am I looking for? You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually recording... he's gone to Montreal, not Toronto, excuse me. To Montreal. Well, that's close enough. Val says Canada is sweet. Was super cold this winter, but it's good now. Good. Lovely. Yeah, we're getting freezing cold weather in Perth. Look, I'm recording all of these streams. I've recorded each one of them. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to like do a super high speed edit of them all. Maybe one day when I've finished this and I want like a behind the scenes thing. I think that might be kind of cool to upload. Like just behind the scenes of Skyrim Symphony, and it's just these streams sped up like 1,000 times with some cool music in there. Autofocus. No. Need to get this pretty exact. There's not really much depth of field to be sort of done here. It's kind of cool though. It's just... Oh, that's the end of that track. Okay. Whoops. I thought the Steam overlay was Shift Tab, not Shift Enter. Effects. Let's bring this up a bit. This is too bright. How does that look? It looks okay. Looks very polygonal. There's too much damn red. I want things to be more... I want the white balance to be much cooler. Yeah, that's kind of what I want. What you want to do with colors is you want to have a duality. You know, you don't just want orange. You want like orange and blue. You want warm and cool. You want there to be kind of a mix. Okay, this is okay. I don't know. He's very bright. I wonder if the subsurface scattering affects that. No, it seems like they've only added the subsurfacing to humans. Draugr. Damn it. That's the voice actor from Spirited Away. Is it Shift Tabbed for me? Maybe you changed it. It is Shift Tab. Well, no. Well, yeah, but every time I click Shift, like sometimes I click Shift Enter, and it actually pulls up the Steam overlay for some inexplicable reason. Alright, I'm just going to roll on this. This will be a shot I'll get. And just one back. Yeah, we might even just kind of slow that down a bit, because that's a bit fast. This will be an establishing shot when there's not really any sounds going on. I mean, the light is very sort of bleh. There's not really any light there at all. It's all just kind of ambient crap. Alright. FOV 70, and then I gotta go back and turn this off. Really need to get a hotkey for this DOF. That would be nice. Yeah, this is not how I remember it. Actually, that'd be cool to come through here. Kind of like that. That would be a nice little establisher. Maybe we will need more. Yeah, we're gonna get clipping. get the DOF back. Woo! That's slightly out of focus, I would say. Christ! Can't see shit! Hang on a sec. One Simple Gamer says, if they could get all of these well-known voice actors, why did they use them for multiple characters instead of hiring other voice actors? I guess because it costs money. There's a nice tool from Adobe for color harmony. You can see which colors are complementary to each other. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. The player affected the lighting below that Draugr's head, I think. Not sure if that's an issue. Suddenly a shadow seemed to... Oh, okay. Is that right? Let's have a playback. Instant replay. Don't really remember that. And then the faster one too. It's quite jittery. There's a dropped frame there somewhere. That's not good. Hopefully it's not in the actual playback. No, I think it... No, that's okay. Oh, I don't notice any shadow problems. Any shadow shit? Alright, let's get an establishing shot of this hall. I kind of like this hall. Ooh, boy. Oh, that would be a problem. Where? That's odd. Right, Nick's getting tired. Nick's definitely getting tired. This is all a lot of fucking bullshit, you know. Well, let's just nab that. God knows we're going to need a lot of filler. We're going to need a lot of establishing shots. Right, now let's get some Draugrs. I don't like the light in here though. Let's see if we can find some better light. Oops, I'm about to walk straight on that pressure plate. Meh, I don't like the light. Just don't like it. God mode shall save me. It's all very red, I suppose because of all the fire. Yeah, it's just not really what I was after. I wanted stuff that was quite blue cast. Yeah, sort of... Oh no, it's gone now. Isn't there a draw? Oh, there is a... Yeah, that's a script event. That's not him detecting me. That's just the game saying, right, you've crossed this point. So let's open up the Draugr tomb. So this guy here is pretty cool. I don't know if he's going to talk for us, though. We can certainly get him to take a few swings. Hello, I'm right here. So let's just get an idea of what he does. He's just gonna He's just going to take swats at me. Damn, that depth of field is really... And again, the light is just... It's not what I want. Well... we can certainly get some shots of him doing that. See, the problem is, I mean, is lip sync going to be a big problem? I don't know. Yeah, Val likes this track. See what I mean? Like, the light here is just, like, for me, it's just... It's not really what I'm after. Let's just turn this back on. Disable that. Point 1, right. Far blur curve. We want that to come right down. Yeah, it's just, there's too many warm colors. Trying to think of a different barrow. There's got to be somewhere else. Oh, it doesn't help. So... I think I pulled this harp sample from Mighty Boosh. The cold areas in the north of Skyrim all dungeons have the same warmth. I don't remember them having a warm colours like this. I remember them being quite bleak. You know, there's a lot of fire and stuff here, which is cool. It's cozy, but it's like, for my Draugr section, you know, I want it to be very muted and very dark and lots of like just cold, stony kind of ness. Oh, that's as good as I'm gonna get. I'm gonna have to just take another shot. Go on, buddy. And that's kind of cool. I like that. Let's just get that while we can. The problem is, like, his mouth isn't moving, so I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. Take another shot, buddy. Go on. I should have my controller connected so I can get smoother camera shots. He does open his mouth when he takes a swing. Which I guess helps. Yeah, I need to get my controller plugged in. No, see, this is tricky. Anything moving is tricky. Let's maybe try like a wide angle shot. You wouldn't have this much depth of field in that case. And the other thing I really want to... this color just sucks. What happens if we... Let's just see what happens. Direct lighting. Direct lighting color filter interior. You see. What if we pull red down? Okay. Well, first of all, are we targeting the right thing? Direct lighting color. Direct lighting intensity interior. Okay, so that is having an effect. If we go 0 though, you can see it's kind of just not really having an effect. Let's turn ambient light down. Ambient light intensity interior. Let's just kill all the light that we can. So pretty much all we have now is what looks like specular to me. That's all just specular. Which is, you know, kind of cool. Kind of like that. But, I want some light. Let's have specular. Specular's good. But the light is, yeah, the light needs some addressing. Direct light. There is desaturation. We can maybe try that. Alright, so there you go. So you see the direct lighting is actually attributed to a blue light from above. I actually kind of like that. We just need some other stuff in there. We need some other light. Because that's quite cool. Direct lighting. So that's just all specular. Damn. Specular power.
That's the problem. Now what are we going to do about it?
Right. Fog color.
All right.
That's bringing some nice blues into the background there. Let's see if we can get it closer. No.
I know.
No, the fog only resides there. I just need light on the guy.
Okay.
A little bit.
All right. You're wondering why these two bells are different pitch swing back and forth the same amount across the
I kind of really like this.
any amplitude modulation that will come out of the speakers.
And it's kind of handy that you can't see his mouth. You know what I mean? I'm just going to record this.
Now what's that mean?
Straight out of focus. Let's just do another, let's do another one of these.
Now, as you know, a tune circuit can pass the maximum voltage at its resonant frequency.
Aren't there commands to activate voice lines? Well, you can target NPCs, and then you can, where's he off to? Oh, he's just swinging. Yeah, it's not a terribly useful shot. I'm pretty sure you can do that. Let's have a little break. Yeah, let's see. Skyrim console commands. There is something to let you do that, but I don't know if it actually... I don't know if it actually works. And you see, and then you've got to go looking for the actual dialogue line ID. I don't know if you can do that. I need Glenn to make me a mod. I just need like a little menu, like point at an NPC and then choose from a list in the game of what line you want him to say. And that's what you need. Targeting. Yeah, see, so you use PRID to target the NPC you want. Toggle commands, targeted commands. Just zoom this in so you guys can see. You can make them play animations, which is what Play Idle is for. You can change that NPC's sex. Sure, the LGTB plus QBHF community would like that. What if we type voice in here? No. Where's my search thing? Oh. Yeah. That's going to be more R&D, I reckon. That's going to take some bloody doing. Yeah, those are that's the dialogue line I used. I just need his damn mouth in there. Okay. Not sure I'll be able to use any of that. It's all just kind of like I could edit it to the voice thing, but it's not really going to sync. I very much doubt that the Draugr's lips actually really animate. It's just the jaw that opens and closes, so you know. That's all going to take some doing. Anyway, guys. Yeah, these songs have looped over a few times. I need to make another playlist. I'm gonna go get some food, folks. I'm bloody hungry. I've been streaming now for 2 hours and 20 minutes. There you go. And yeah, look, we managed to get some shots. I really, really, really wish I could get an NPC to speak a certain line, because the mouth is going to be a real problem. That's, I can tell you from an editing point of view, that's really going to kick my ass. I need a mod for Skyrim Special Edition that lets me apply, that basically lets me make certain NPCs speak certain lines. That's the challenge. That's the challenge. Damn, look at that. Erotic Adventures of Misty Sky. Is that right? See, if I just type in voice, what happens when we get voice? This is kind of a thing I need to sort out. You're just gonna get like voice replacements. I love the picture of Homer there with the Dragonborn helm. That's great. Alright guys, I'm going to chime out. I'm going to go and get some food and then I'm going to go to bed because it's 2:15 in the morning here in Perth. So big thanks to everybody who's tuned in. Atlas, Val, Frog Voice, Dorner, Fax, Mractor, Fleander. You guys have been great. Good ideas, good support. I certainly need the morale. That's for damn sure. I'll see you guys next time. Peace and love. Peace upon you. Peace upon you all.